Hi, everybody. It's Craig and Arun back with your Monday NBA rundown of games. We got 9 games for you today. It's December 1st, Monday, December 1st. Hope everybody had a good November. Let's make a December one to remember. Don't forget, if you want to get in on our top hoops plays or NHL, any of the individual sports, you can do so. Use this 15% off last day for this stuffing 15. So make sure you use this last day for that to get 15% off. The code for next week is only going to be 10%. So if you want to purchase something this week, do so today. That code runs out at midnight tonight. Also, don't forget, if you want to get in on our football pass, you can do so. It's championship week. You get all the football plays all the way through Monday Night Football next week. All you got to do, 2-for-1 football pass, just $99, DocSports.com/Craig Arun. And then last but not least, the edge is what IC calls this premium products. And why? Because you get all the extra plays for $49.99 a month. You get all 3 levels. That's over $3,000 worth of picks, including we tell you what to play, how to play it, and that kind of stuff. So it gets you a little extra knowledge there. All right, here's what we have starting off in the NBA. We've got the Cleveland Cavaliers coming off a loss last night to the Boston Celtics. Indiana Pacers underdog here by 5.5, total 233. What do you like here?
Yeah, and Craig, before I forget, don't forget that be sure to sign up for college basketball. We are off to a 19-6 start to the year, plus 7,000 in college basketball now. NBA, nice 7-unit winner on a Sunday. Great 7-unit winner there. It brings our NBA now to around plus 3,800. So pretty excited about that. So between both sports, over plus $10,000, I certainly hope you join us for the rest of the NBA season and the college basketball season. All right, Craig, as it relates to this game here, look, you have a Cleveland team that's a minus 5.5 point top here on the road to 12-9. This team already played Indiana and won 120-109. Cleveland's been an entirely hit or miss team of late. They're 12-9, again, above 500. Not covering a 7.5 point chalk against the Celtics. Not covering against the Hawks, losing to Toronto. So they've lost 3 in a row coming into here. And they just beat Indiana 120-109. Indiana surprising people and covering 6 in a row so far, including beating Chicago, beating Washington, nearly beating Toronto, nearly beating Detroit. They are playing much, much better at this point. I got to be honest with you. I can see an opportunity for them to beat this team outright here. And I'm going to take the Pacers here. Pacers have decided to play. Maybe they're not fully tanking, but given the fact they have a revenge from a game that's just about 10 days old, Cleveland is struggling. They've won 3 in a row, or they've lost 3 in a row. Indiana now has covered 6 in a row. I think the only thing that makes sense to me is taking the Pacers plus the 5.5. All right, Craig, the Bucks here, minus 10 point chalk against Washington. Giannis did call this team out. The Bucks won by 13 points last time out, and it was in October. They finally beat the Nets. They are 9-12. They are under 500 right at this point. Washington, though, it did not cover against Indiana, but did cover back-to-back games before that against Atlanta and at Chicago. Who do you like here?
Well, this is all about the Bucks. Giannis, like you said, after the Knicks loss, he called everybody out. That was 7 in a row. Of course, they came out, blew them out. Washington last time out, or Brooklyn, right? I believe it was Brooklyn last time out. Now they face another bad team in Washington. And you don't think they can blow them out? I don't think he allows them to have a letdown here. I think they play mad, they play mean, and I like them to cover the big number. And I'm not a guy that lays double digits very often, probably less than 10% of the time. I'm usually going to take the other side or play a total. But I think this is one of those occasions you do so. Take Milwaukee minus 10. Next game, Atlanta Hawks at the Detroit Pistons. The Pistons are 9-point favorite. They've lost back-to-back, right? They had that 13-game win streak, and then they lose back-to-back. Then they come back and they beat at Miami. Now a day off, and now they back home here against the Hawks team coming off that double overtime. Can the Detroit cover this 9 points, a total of 233.5?
Well, Porzingis is still out along with Trae Young, and I still took the Hawks to beat Philadelphia. And I'm glad I did that. The Hawks were able to get it done. Johnson's coming out partying. Alexander Walker with 34 points. Jalen Johnson with 41 points. Just you can see someone coming of age right there. The only problem is that the Pistons already beat this team 120-111. So the Hawks could bounce back here. But At the same time, the Pistons come off a nice win against Miami, and they're playing really well right now. I mean, beating Miami is a big deal. They had come off back-to-back losses coming into that game. They've actually not won at home since November 17th. And I hate going against my Hawks here because they are playing so well right now. But I got to be honest with you, I might just lay the points here. The Pistons, beating Miami was a huge deal. This is a team that lost its last home game to the Magic, and I think they'll want to bounce back here. I'm going to lay the points here. I'm going to lay them, even though they have revenge, I'm going to lay the points here with the Pistons minus the 9.
Don't forget to like and subscribe and turn on notifications so you don't miss out on all the great content we have here at Doc Sports.
Craig, the Chicago Bulls 8-point dog here against these Magic. The Bulls beat them by 12 early this year. The Bulls are 9-10. They're actually better than what we think. They have lost 3 in a row coming into the Pacers, Charlotte, and to the Pelicans. So they've now lost 6 straight covers. Orlando comes in off of a nice win against the Pistons on the road, 112-109. So the Magic are off of a win. The Bulls are off 3 straight losses. And the Bulls did beat them early this year. Who do you like?
Yeah, and the Bulls, they've lost 4 of their last 5. Here's their last 3 losses: Indiana, Charlotte, and New Orleans. 3 of the worst teams in the league, and they won by 1 back against Washington. So, I mean, they've played the 4 worst teams in the league and won 1 of those by 1 point. And yet it's only 8.5 here. I kind of thought this line was going to be trickling into that 10 number. I think this is the game you play the Bulls here. Orlando was riding high. They're in the cup, and, you start patting yourselves on the back. They actually had a couple, maybe too many days off. I believe what they played on Friday, right? Now they're a couple too many days off, in my opinion. I like the Bulls here. They have to play with a little pride after the way they've played lately. And I'm going to take the points with the Bulls here at the Orlando Magic. All right, next game we have here, we have Charlotte Hornets at the Brooklyn Nets. Hornets have had a couple nice wins lately, and they're facing a Nets team that's just 2-8 their last 10 games. So both of these teams are struggling on the year. Charlotte minus 4.5 total, 227.5. What do you like here?
Hornets already beat them 136-117 early this year. So the Nets do have a little bit of revenge. Charlotte comes off back-to-back big wins, right? Big win against Toronto, big win against the Bulls. That was impressive. They are 6-14. They have covered 3 of the last 4. The Nets, look, they've lost now, 4 straight contests, including getting blown out by Milwaukee. And I thought they didn't play that bad over the last couple of games. They've just lost 3 straight covers. The one thing that I noticed was, the Hornets did win 136-117 last time. The Hornets, again, coming off back-to-back huge wins against Toronto and Chicago. If you take a look at that game, Charlotte actually shot the ball 44% from the field. They have, they're playing with a combination of Sexton and Ball and Miller and Knuppel and Bridges. It's not a bad team at all. But can the Nets get revenge? Can the Nets hang tough? The last time these two teams met, the total was sitting around 228, and it went way over. This one comes in at 226.5, so it's a bit of a surprise. I think what happens here is this game probably goes under the posted total. I think the Nets will play much better defense. I actually like the Nets sort of, plus the 4.5 too, but I just can't pull the trigger on it. But I do think they play much, much better defense here, and I'm going to take the under. If I had to pick a side, I'm going to take the Nets plus the 4.5 too, and I think they hang tough today. All right, Craig, Clippers are only a plus 6-point dog here against Miami. The Clippers, the Miami beat them 120-119 by 1 point earlier this year. The Clippers come in now having lost 4 straight covers. They're a mess. They lost to the Mavs, the Grizzlies, the Lakers, the Cavs. They are 5-15, and all indicators are they are going to miss the playoffs. Miami's played really well, 13-7, lost to the Pistons by a bucket. So that's going to motivate them. They had won, 6 in a row prior to that, including big wins against the Knicks and Golden State and Chicago and Philadelphia on the road. Who do you like here?
Yeah, they played earlier this year. I think it was early November. I think it was November 3rd, if I remember, when I was looking at this game earlier. And the Heat won by 1 at L.A. So it's got a little revenge here. And the Clippers, when they play Kawhi, I watched that last game because I had Dallas plus the points as our play. And we got the win outright, but they played well when Kawhi's playing, but he's on limited minutes. It sounds like they're going to increase that for this game, so that does bode a little better for the Clippers. And, usually we've been having to lay points with the Clippers, and so I've been fading them. Finally, we're getting points here. It's not going to be a big play because the Clippers have played terrible, just 1 spread cover in their last, I think, 6 games. But I'm going to take the Clippers here in the revenge spot, getting 6 points. I think Kawhi will play a little more minutes tonight. And this is a Heat team that I like to play as underdog, not as much as favorite, FYI.
Don't forget, free $60 worth of free premium selections, DocSports.com/ICCT. If you want to try us out, that is the best way. Free $60 worth of premium selections. You try Craig and I out, and you get our premium selections and our fantastic analysis piped in there.
Next game, Dallas. Like I said, nice win against LA this week. They played really good against the Lakers, even though they couldn't close it out late. Denver's favored by 10.5 here, total 233.5. What do you like?
Yeah, Dallas being a 10.5 win dog is interesting, right? So I got to be honest with you. The fact that no one really gives faith to the Mavericks. They are 6-15. The Nuggets have beat them back-to-back times. They played them last year. But I will tell you this, the Mavs did beat the Clippers 114-110. The only problem is that, and I was impressed with their loss against Miami too, losing 102-106. But can Dallas find itself some depth outside of Flagg and Marshall and Thompson and Williams? That's the problem with this team, is that they just literally don't have any depth, right? So, and you face a Denver team here that comes off a huge win against Phoenix, covering on the road after a loss, after they won by 18 points. These two teams, once again, have not met this year. So Denver's going to get up for this game. Do you really think Dallas is going to win back-to-back games as well? If you take a closer look at this Phoenix game, it was a game they were kind of tied at the half, and they were slow out of the gates. But then they were able to win. I think Denver's first attempt here, Cooper Flagg goes well. I would have laid even a bigger number than this. This total comes in at 233.5. I think kind of what happens here is that Dallas coming off a win, I think they'll play pretty decent defense. I've been impressed with Dallas's defense of late. They held Memphis to 102. They held Miami to 106. They held the Lakers to 129, bad defensive game, and then they held the Clippers to 110. I think they'll play much better defense here. At the same time, Denver scored 136 points the last two games. I think they're kind of a monster offensive letdown. I would not be surprised at all to see this game go under the 233.5 today between these two squads. All right, Greg, Houston comes in as a minus 12-point chalk against Utah. Interesting, Houston just beat this team 129-101. These two teams just played each other. Rockets just blew them out 129-101. That game went under the 232. Now they face each other immediately in their next game. What do you like here?
This is a tough matchup for Utah. Usually Utah has a lot of length, and that bodes well. That's kind of what they use there as their strength. Against Houston, no one has length advantage. They are giant. They can put just monster wingspan guys all across the court. And it just was too much yesterday. It was never close yesterday. Usually, when you play a back-to-back, even with the day in between, there's no in between. They played yesterday, by the way. But usually, I come right back and you take the underdog. I just don't know. I'm going to take Houston in the first half. I'm going to be a little safer. Maybe Houston falls off a little late and Utah gets a late cover, but I'm going to take Houston in the first half minus 6.5. I think the size, they were up, I believe it was 20-something at half yesterday. I think they'll do similar and maybe coast a little late. So let's take Houston in the first half. Next game, Suns at the Lakers. Suns have been – I thought this Suns team would be lucky to be like 500 at the All-Star break. I mean, they're 12-9, and they've been in several games against some of the best teams in the NBA. Can they do it tonight? That's the big question at LA. LA's 14-4 right now, so no one's talking about them because the Thunder have been so good. Lakers favored by 5.5, total 235. What do you like?
Yeah, I think Coach Jordan Ott has been really good, right, for these Suns. The Suns haven't lost 3 in a row, by the way. They did lose to the Nuggets and to Oklahoma City in their last 2 games. I think they show up here. These two teams.
Was that Thunder? Was it 1 point, 2 points, something like that?
Against the
Thunder?
Yeah, they covered the 14.5. They only lost 4 points. Yeah, they played really well. They made a strong effort near the end of that game. And it was a game they shot 46% from the field. They showed at least 6 guys in double digits. They almost had 8 guys in double digits, which was pretty phenomenal. So I don't think the Suns are afraid of anybody. I mean, if they can lose by 4 to Oklahoma City on the road, why can't they lose by 4 here to the Lakers? The Lakers also have Toronto on deck, so they're not looking ahead too much too. Look,
and the Lakers, FYI, forgot to mention, are in a back-to-back. They played New Orleans yesterday, so that's why the line is. LeBron was out yesterday. Do you see if he's in today? He set out yesterday.
Yeah, LeBron for this game, LeBron is listed as out. And Phoenix obviously has Williams and Livers listed as day-to-day. LeBron could certainly come back for this game. But look, at the end of the day, I like the fact that Phoenix comes off back-to-back. It's more about Phoenix for me than the Lakers. I like the fact that Phoenix comes off back-to-back losses. I like the fact that Phoenix comes off an 18-point loss to Denver. I think they get up for this game. I don't think they lose 3 in a row. I think the last time they lost badly to Houston, they came back to beat the Kings nicely. This team has gone on the road to beat Portland. They've beaten Minnesota. They've beaten the Spurs. They've won some big games this year. The Lakers certainly have won, keep in mind, 7 in a row. They did not cover against the Pelicans. But the Lakers have also played a bunch of sub-500 teams lately. You think out of the 7 wins that they've had, 2 of those wins are against the Pelicans, right? And then you have a win against the Bucks, who are not playing well right now. 2 of those wins are against the Jazz. And then the Clippers, who have 5 or 6 wins on the year. And then the Mavericks, who are sub-500. And then they lost to the Thunder in between by 30 points. So I'll be happy to take the 4.5 here, and I'll take the Suns plus the 4.5 here today. Plus 5.5 here.
All right, so that's all of our NBA games today. Don't forget, at the end of this video, click the playlist. You can get all the games. We have the Monday Night Football game up. We'll have some plays in college hoops every day. And then, of course, hit the subscribe button so you don't miss out. Now, if you want in on our top plays, very simple. Get in our hot streaks. 15% off. Stuffing 15 saves you 15% off. Next week's code is only going to be 10%. So use it today. Get in on a long-term pass. $99 for any sport you want. Becomes $85 with that code. If you want the day pass, if you want like the top play, it's $30, so it's $25.50. So use that code and get in on it. And don't forget about the Premium Plus levels right here. Level 3, 2, or 1. Here's the prices. These are month prices, and the link is in the description to purchase. These are all the extra plays that don't make our card, and it goes really well with our top plays over at the website. All right, guys, have a great day. See you again tomorrow.